Hey YouTube, welcome to Real Men Get It Done. I am going for my first barbershop beard cut after coronavirus and the shops have opened back up. So I'm excited just to connect with my barber and see what's going on. And so this is just going to be more of a vlog. I may get a chance to ask him some few questions, just how things have been going. But we're just going to check it out and see how it gets me fresh. My beard has grown substantially since Corona, and I've kept it maintenance in between, but I purposely let it grow out really ragged the past couple of weeks. My hair grows really fast just because I wanted him to have something to work with and see a masterpiece when it's all said and done. So stay tuned and rock with me. This is Real Men Get It Done. So before I actually head to the barber shop, I am running late because I'm still working and I had a meeting, Zoom meeting of course. But I wanted to make sure that I was able to get this nice and fluffed out. Already got my head shaved, fresh. Did that earlier. Sensitive skin, so I don't like the barber touching my head to shave it along with getting my beard done. Plus it saves you some money too. Case in point, do your own beard. Do your own head, I should say. And then have him do your beard if you're bald like I am. So it's grown substantially, as you can see, and I'm gonna use my beard straightener. Let this boy warm up just so I can get a little bit more length on it. So yeah, man, it felt so good to get back into the barber's chair and connect with my barber just to catch up with him. The cool thing about my barber, he didn't let the coronavirus and COVID-19, even though his shop was closed, let it stop his hustle. So he is called Phantom. Phantom is his name. His barbershop is Phantom's Barbershop, as you can see by his tattoo. He started his own lawn cutting business during the coronavirus. So it was really cool. He still was Phantom Cuts, but he was doing lawns and tree removal and just being of service to folks who may need help in the community. So again, his hustle didn't stop as he was moving forward and trying to wait for the coronavirus to end and for shops to open back up. So yeah, a couple things just as I connected with Phantom and just catching up with him, I kind of discovered and learned while I was at the barbershop, just some new tips and tricks. So I wanted to pass those off, to folks as you're transitioning back into the barber, if you're looking for a new barber, whatever spectrum you may be. So one of the first things, I just was kind of curious, and while we were shooting the breeze, I wish I could have just let y'all hear the audio, but you know how YouTube is, and they'll catch you if you have any audio playing, and it's a barbershop. So they had the tunes bumping in the background, so I didn't want to get caught with copyright and then get my video taken off. So unfortunately, I couldn't let the conversation play out. But I was just asking him in terms of like, what should some folks know as they come into the barbershop to help them be successful as they're connecting with, a new barber, or even connecting with, a barber that they may have had but don't have the best relationship with. Just kind of picking his brain. And one of the things that he mentioned was that, he appreciates that people are picky. Be direct, let the barber know what you want. Phantom mentioned a customer that he had that the customer told him everything that he wanted. And then at the end, before he got out the chair, he was critiquing and nitpicking and this and that. And so it almost ended up being a second cut. So hope that makes sense. It's okay to be direct. It's okay to be picky. But don't overdo it to the point of where you're ending up getting double charged for another cut. Know what you want, research it, look on the internet, get an idea, and come in and talk, have that conversation with your barber so he knows what you're trying to do and what you're trying to accomplish. And yeah, just picking his brain for a few other things. Again, Phantom is just awesome. One of his new actual workers that he just kind of hired is on his team. She's coming fresh, and so she was asking some questions. So he was actually teaching as he was doing my hair. She was asking questions about, how to do a correct curve on a beard, because Phantom specializes in doing beards. So again, I just love my shop and just connecting with him and just how he really wants it to be a multicultural shop with the people that he hires, and then also with the clientele that he has. As you can see, there's a little flavor of everybody that's in there getting their hair cut. Well, keeping it moving, I think one of the other things I kind of picked up from him, he just was laughing and saying that like one of the things as a barber he hates is wigglers. So, you know, stop moving. He said kids and adults do that. They want to see and they want to check out things, but, you know, let the barber, trust the barber after you've given him a vision of what you want and allow him to do his job. So the next thing, again, you see Phantom, he's showing you hair illusions. This is the hair products that he uses for enhancements with the beard. And I want to just encourage brothers and stuff that the enhancements are okay. It's okay to have the small enhancements. And if your barber does it, I think, you know, he should be able to use professional dyes, professional sprays. Phantom uses a barber pencil. He uses a straight edge. So the enhancements piece is okay, but it should be very natural. Now, I'm not one for dyeing my beard, and you know, there's fun videos out there where people use invasion, which is like too dark and too black, but they have professional dyes and things that are for the beard. And so this is a part of the enhancements just to make sure everything looks complete and that it looks connected and together, that I encourage everyone to try and to do. But make sure your barber knows what they're doing, so you don't look like some of the videos out there where it's too dark or it looks too fake. He just blends it in to make sure it matches and that it coordinates with my hair color. So this is him doing his thing with the enhancements, with utilizing the straight razor and the pencil as well, the barber pencil, to get me right. So after that, I would say, you know, the definitely thing that is just another tip or trick or thing that kind of barbers definitely want us to know is that it's okay to have conversations and dialogue with your barber throughout the haircut, but limited. You know, don't. Some people are very talkative. Kind of always like to let the barber kind of lead and see where he's asking questions, so I'm not talking while he may be in a sensitive part of the haircutting process. But they encourage and they like, you know, to connect with their customers and to have some conversation. So be okay and be open to that as your barber just tries to connect with you and build that relationship with you throughout the cut. And the last thing that I'll leave with, you know, as I in the video let you guys see the finished product, is definitely, man, tip your barbers. Barbering, it's not like this coronavirus, the COVID has definitely shown us that, you know, people's jobs could be at jeopardy just depending on how the economy turns. And barbers are really entrepreneurs. They are independent workers. So similar to, you know, someone that's at a restaurant that, you know, you want to tip them because their actual pay may only be a couple of dollars. The same concept goes, you know, with any kind of service industry, and barbers are not exempt from that. So if your barber does a good job, if he's taking care of you, always be ready and able to provide a tip, you know, for that barber, because they do put a lot of time, energy, and effort making sure that, you know, we're taken care of. And it's so cool now with technology, as you can see even behind me, the transaction that's going on, everything has gone technology. So barbers, you know, you can have cash or just use your card. My barber has everything set up through Square Trade where I can tip him everything on my card. It's all electronic, and making sure that he's taking care of me. And when you do that and you start to build that relationship with your barber, what you'll find out is that sometimes they'll go a little bit over a limb for you to help you out. So for example, if you got to get squeezed in for an appointment, or they just know if you're a good customer, if you're a good paying customer, they'll be more apt to look out for you in that time of need. So definitely take that in consideration as you move forward and get your hair done at the shop.